Okay, well, why don't we ask for our callers or tweeters?
Yep, tweeters, certainly, because we've got a
Whichever-
segment to go next, yep.
Well, you're the boss. Which one do you want?
Tweeters.
Tweeters to nominate the next Josh Kennedy. Who's in their club or at a club level now, who's in and out, not getting a regular go, who could be a much better player if given opportunity? Maybe identify those people.
It's a good question for you.
Yeah, well done.
I like it. triplem.com.au.
I've been on it.
Tweet us.
You've written about it.
Yeah, that's the next article going.
Oh, little Damo.
Listen,
That's a little kidney job, isn't it?
What I want you to do is stick your boot up and have a good look at yourself in the reflection of your boot, because you're getting way ahead of yourself. Hey, the talkback, we're on the search for the next Josh Kennedy, which is terrific talkback topic. Now, what we've got on the Twitter, we want you to go on the Twitter.
Who came up with that topic?
Oh, it doesn't matter who came up with it. What our Twitter number is what? What's our hashtag?
At Triple M Footy.
At Triple M Footy. Now, just give you a snapshot, Duke.
Yep.
Well, before you do, Gaz, we have got Nathan Buckley down on the boundary. So we'll get back to the tweets in a sec. We had to go to Nathan Buckley before, Gaz, so we had to cut short your discussion.
Well received, that, Jim.
And you never like to cut Garry short, Duke, because then he filthies right up.
He presented the full back to the rest of us at that stage.
And now he's gone back the tweets of suggested Josh Kennedy types that are on lists at the moment, Garry.
Yes, Jim. Yes, we talked about the need to be a bit adventurous and aggressive and try to uncover a player at an AFL club that isn't getting a regular senior game who may flourish in the Josh Kennedy mode at another club. And so far, the Twitterverse has gone nuts. And this is from Seamus Billings. Alex Woodward, Chief. Do you know who he is?
I do. He did his knee.
He's out for the year.
He's out for the year with a knee reconstruction.
That's what I'm asking you.
So we haven't even seen the best of him yet.
Righto, so bad luck, Seamus. Chief's shooting you down.
Just a new draftee that did his knee, unfortunately.
Kobe Stevens. Dylan has recommended from the West Coast Eagles. Very highly rated. Can't really get a regular crack, can he?
Young Kobe Stevens. Spent a little bit of time with him at the Institute of Sport. I think he'll be one that eventually, although their midfield depth is enormous, so occasionally good players get pushed out.
Fabiano, says David Allard from Carlton. It's a big, deep midfield. It's a big 8 now, so he hasn't been able to crack it.
I like
there.
it. Back to 6 after last week.
Anyone be looking at David Allard, do you think?
Yeah, I reckon there's some potential there, Chief. David Allard, not one of your favourites, obviously.
Good run with player.
Good run with player. Shannon Burns, says Bobby Johnson. Shannon Burns from the Geelong Footy Club. Would he if he had more regular time in the midfield, would he flourish?
How old is he now?
I don't know. Well, Chief, I'm
He's
just
been on
throwing
the
him
scene
up.
for a while.
Late 20s, wouldn't he?
Yeah,
mid to late, obviously.
Don't know that he's going to get that much better. No disrespect to Shannon.
I think that is a bit of disrespect.
No,
to
it's
Shannon.
not. I'm just saying at what stage of his career, because we're talking about the Josh Kennedy mould, which was a youngster ready to go bang when he gets a full-blown opportunity.
All right, let's find out how old Shannon Burns is for me there, Big Nose, and we'll see if that's disrespectful or not. Brad Shepherd from the West Coast Eagles.
Has found a regular spot, hard to come by, Brad Shepherd.
And very highly rated, Jim,
He
as
was,
a youngster.
first
I think he
rounder.
was a first rounder,
Yep.
so he hasn't been
Here's a good suggestion.
quite martyred. What about Jordan Russell? Peter Jordan has thrown up.
That was
Jordan
one I was
Russell.
thinking of. I'd actually thought about him because he tends to get squeezed out of the Carlton defence, but gee, I reckon he's a terrific utility type that uses the ball well, can play tall, small.
Sydney are the masters at this,
The
the Sydney
masters.
Swans, and
We should
they've
be talking to them.
been able to build their list on the basis of more traded players than anyone else in the competition. They turn what seems like fringe players into guns, and this is how this discussion starts. I reckon there's one that might come back the other way.
Ooh.
Jesse White on the outer at Sydney at the moment, who's a 6'5", unbelievably powerful athlete who not quite getting the job done at the moment.
On the outer does?
He's not playing regularly.
Your thoughts, Jason?
Yeah,
Is Duke sticking up for a ruckman type?
he power forward ruckman. There's
Any
hard
love-
to come by.
any
Your
love
thoughts,
for
Chief?
Jesse around the
I
room?
get the feeling he mightn't beat Hawthorn next year.
What are you squeezing your nose for?
Scratching it,
Oh,
if you
yeah.
don't mind.
Sorry. Hey, I've got one here off the SMS.
Yes.
Tom Schneider, a rookie at Hawthorn.
Yeah, going very
and
well
Derek
too.
Wanganeen, a rookie at Hawthorn.
Couple of young fellas,
And
your
if you don't-
small crumbing forward types that are going very
My
well.
mail says if you don't snap them up, they'll be gone. That's mail.
Well, good mail. Who's got first crack at them?
Yeah, well, I'm just giving you a warning.
Oh, hello.
Thanks for sticking your neck out and looking after us, guys. That's terrific. we'll take that on board.
Well, all I'm saying,
That'll stand us in good stead. A couple of throwaway comments from a flog like you.
Bit of a declaration of war.
you know what? You know what? I've hit a little raw nerve.
No, you haven't.
A little raw one.
As I
think.
said, mate, too much housekeeping at home you should be worried about rather than poking your nose elsewhere where it's not wanted.
Starting to get
real
personal.
I think that's a real raw nerve. He might get a game at Melbourne. Tom Schneider, what's his name?
Who wouldn't?
Tommy Schneider. Now he's just openly launching.
Just open warfare.
You deserve that.
Open warfare.
It's not at me.
You
You're
deserve
denigrating
that.
a great football club. Go on. Yeah, that's just a really low act, that.
Excuse me, don't you now come the high and mighty.
That's
You've
really-
sat there and
that's
needled
low.
3 or 4 Hawthorn players and you don't expect anything to come
How
back?
can I needle? I'm just reading them off the
Oh,
SMS.
of course you are.
Straight
The
off
way
Twitter.
you're phrasing it,
Oh,
give me
I
a
think we've hit
break.
a raw one.
Raw
Might
this.
chase that up if you wouldn't mind. Raw this, he says. Oh, come on.
I tell you,
Come on, Chief.
I've known Chief for a very long time, Chief. And if there's someone you don't want to engage in verbal stoush with, it's the Chieftain because he'll go any lengths to win. Any lengths.
I'm happy to. I love the Chief. I love talking to him, and I can read him like a book too. And I know when he's serious, and I know when he's not. I think
What am I now, Wolf?
I think Tom Schneider's very much on the go. All right, now listen.
Close to
Trent
getting
Dennis
the game.
Lane. James Considine says
What's
Trent
happened to him?
Dennis Lane
Yeah.
at Sydney. Is he worth giving a look at, Duke?
Yeah.
All right,
fallen
what
out
I
of
like
favour.
doing, Jim, is when I throw the names up, I look around
Yes.
for the facial reaction
That's it.
first.
It tells you a lot,
Because
mate.
on radio, it's
Had a bit to do with Trent Dennis Lane, Garrett. I think you're looking for players that you can see something in that maybe other clubs can't, and that's what this is all about. How can they fit into your style of play? Again, Sydney, the masters at it.
Whatever you've had to do with him's obviously helped, Duke. We haven't seen him for over a year.
Oh, no. Yeah, the Chief's just turned to the Duke.
Now he's only doing the Duke.
It's not drive-by anymore.
Do you know what I like
The Chief's in the middle of the road with a hand cannon just blowing people away.
You know what I like about him? When you ask a Hawthorn question he doesn't want to know about, he goes, oh, no, I'm not there on a daily basis. Don't know anything about it. When you get down to the detail of, he is the man that pulls every string down there.
Stop it, Duke.
The power broker, cuts legs off, got rid of Josh Kennedy. Destroyed a dynasty down there single-handedly.
Listen, I don't want to put Tom Schneider on the radar of everyone who's on the rookie list. It's Hawthorn. 40 possessions, 3 goals last week.
He's been in the mix, mate. He's very
the
close to
mix.
getting a game, I'm telling you.
He's on the rookie list. You'd have to bring him up, do you?
You're allowed to elevate rookies.
I'm just asking, is he on the rookie
Actually,
list?
Gaz, you could be onto something there because they've put Max Bailey onto the long-term injury list
Oh,
and
so
didn't
a
nominate
spot. Someone-
nominate
I
a
wouldn't
player.
be surprised by the time the game starts today.
You're onto something there,
Tom
Gaz.
Schneider.
If he's elevated.
Could that happen,
Look
Jace?
at Chief.
The only thing that's happening here is Wolf's trying to elevate himself.
Hey, it's not me. I'm just reading them off the SMS. Look, they're flowing through. Sean Higgins is another one. I'd like your thoughts on that, please,
Yeah,
Jeff.
well, it goes back to
Plays
your
every week.
Started
earlier
as a
discussion.
sub.
It's a sub last
I
week.
reckon that's a
yeah.
clear message.
Yep, no, he needs to lift his rating, Sean
It's
Higgins.
not lack of opportunity that's held him back, though.
Nah, he had a lot of injuries, but hasn't ever quite developed into the player that all the people involved with him thought he would. And a big year for Sean Higgins.
Is there someone on the ground today, Das, who could qualify?
You
Would
spent
it
any
be
time
a
with
Bell
him, Jeff?
Chambers or
A bit of time with Sean Higgins too. Bro, it's all working beautiful. Bell Chambers is a regular now. Bell Chambers
big Bell Chambers.
can play. He's into his 30th game. I don't think he'll be going anywhere at Essendon.
Oh, Gaz, what was that reaction?
What?
Oh, don't you start
I'm not
casting
really
aspersions.
listening to Duke. I'm reading this at the moment. I am listening to you too, Duke.
Seedy Seedsman playing only his 4th game, but
Seedy.
Cedo, Seedsy, one of our
It's Seed.
favourites. Andrew Moore, Sammy Martin says Andrew Moore from Port Adelaide. He's only a young man, brother of Calvin Moore, of course. Probably needs a bit more time.
Bucketing down at the MCG.
And really starting to
Are
play
they
hard
ducking
too.
for cover, Jim?
How's your outside broadcast going?
No good.